All right, we are back and having fun. So this is an example of a repeated linear factor. In other words, the denominator is, when I factor it, it's going to be the same thing twice or 3 times or 4 times, but you're not going to see anything where the denominator has a repeated factor of more than 2. So you wouldn't see it cubed or something like that. The most you would see is 2 of them on the bottom. So there's just a little tiny difference with a problem like this. You're going to start the same way. You're going to take the fraction and we are going to rewrite it as our denominator split into its 2 factors. But the difference is, instead of it being a over x plus 2 and b over x plus 2, it's actually going to be b over x plus 2 squared. And the reason why is, if I want to get this side to look like this side again and get it back together, I would be finding a common denominator. And if I only have 1 under each of them without the squared, when I put these back together, I would just have plainly a plus b over x plus 2. And that doesn't look like what I have over here. I have x plus 2 squared. So under one of these, I have to have an x plus 2 squared so that, mathematically, if I put it back together and got a common denominator, I would need 2 of them in that denominator, which is what I have in the original. So if you have a repeated factor like that, you can include it once under your first variable and twice under your second, or I think you could flip it. I don't know that it wouldn't matter. So, same thing as before. I'm going to take both sides and multiply both sides by this denominator. So if I multiply both sides by x plus 2 squared, it's going to cancel here, and you'll be left with just 6x plus 7. And if you multiply the other side by x plus 2 squared, one of these will cancel, and I'll have left just the a times one of the x plus 2's, plus this will cancel completely, and I'll just be left with b. So I'll have that 6x plus 7 is a times x plus 2 plus b. I will factor or distribute and rearrange. So I have ax plus 2a plus b. I only have 1 term that goes with the x. I have 2 terms without an x. So this one's kind of even easier. My 6x and my ax go together, so a is going to be 6. And my 7 and my 2a plus b go together. And since a was 6, b is going to be -5. I'm going to take both of those numbers and put them back into my rewritten split fraction so that I have a new integral with 2 simpler fractions of 6 over x plus 2 plus -5 over the x plus 2 squared. And I forgot my dx. Oh well. And now I'm going to integrate. So the integral of 6 over x plus 2 is 6 natural log of x plus 2. And the integral of the -5 over x plus 2 squared, don't get duped into thinking it's natural log. It's not. You'd have to use kind of substitution if it was anything other than x plus 2, but it's pretty easy. So we can just go down and write it that way. And my plus c. And that's our second example. And we only have one more, and then you're done.